Cowboy Jim, thank you so very much for tuning in. I'll try to keep this to not much more than 10 minutes, and I'll try to be a little bit coherent. Maybe a challenge. YouTube tells me that, or tell me rather, that I should ask if you like what I'm trying to do here to subscribe. Well, I would appreciate it. Now, here is what you are watching on the news. Thankfully, it's not the horror of a Canadian protesting, but it is a result of a leader who is so weak and so very short-sighted that they will go on the television every day and say, Putin's going to attack real soon. Putin is going to attack real soon. Well, that's really not a news bulletin, a news flash, given the buildup of the army that is surrounding the Ukraine. But what are Dios is an example of weakness. There's no way anyone in America wants to go to war with Soviet Russia. But if you understand what the long-term goal is, I'm not saying that I understand completely. I don't. Because it is very hard to understand the mind of one who thinks like the Chinese Communist Party and the leader of China, who will gladly kill off a complete people group who happen to disagree with him, and or, as Hitler did towards the Jewish people, a people group that he just doesn't like. He gladly will kill them off. Putin will do the same thing, because Putin, and I think it's Tsar or something like that, Z or whatever, in China, they have the same goals. China is anxious to get down there and hang a licking on Taiwan, take over the South Seas, be the great world leader, because the former great world leading country doesn't have a leader. They have an old man. Trust me. I've been studying on what an old man looks like. It was quite a shock for me. I mean, I knew I'd turned 72, but when I turned 71, it was explained in no uncertain detail that I was not young. It was quite a shock. And anyways, so here, I have said that Putin is going to do his very best to work his way right across Europe. And he may have a little bit of difficulty going into the countries that are protected by NATO. But if you think about the gift that Joe Biden gave Putin of taking all restraints that Donald Trump had put on Putin's pipeline, sending natural gas to all of Europe. Think about that. Putin makes I think it is 1 billion, 1.1 billion or something dollars a day from the pipeline that Joe Biden let Putin go ahead with. Donald Trump had had said, no, you're not doing that. Because Donald Trump, in his business acumen, intended to put a pipeline across from the United States of America to Europe and supply all Europe with natural gas. But Joe Biden, he canceled everything that Trump was doing. Well, Trump had made the United States of America energy efficient, operating as many oil fields as he could, opening as many as he could up, fracking to pull up natural gas and so on. Donald Trump, he was a businessman. Joe Biden is just ready for the old folks home. And you have to understand that. Don't expect a single thing from Joe Biden that hasn't been written down and placed in front of him so that as he reads it, may not even know what he's reading. But it sounds like as though it's his forceful way of leading the country. This is what happens when you have a leader leading your country who wields as much respect across the world as Justin Trudeau does. A bully attitude, they're going to hang a licking on anyone who is defenseless. The Ukrainians, they're not defenseless. And they're going to fight like hell. And they're going to die. And Putin may have quite a few injuries on his own side. Joe Biden probably made as much money through his family from the Ukraine as they needed to. And Putin, I do believe that Putin will take the Ukraine and Putin will go further and further and further. If you look at a map of Europe, the Ukraine's a big portion of Europe. And so Putin wants to reinstate the glorious country called Soviet Russia to what it was prior to the First World War. Kind of silly, children. But I have mentioned Israel. They of course are really in trouble. But they're not in trouble yet. But they know they're going to be. When Putin is done taking over Europe, and Z or whatever his name is over there in China, is done taking over Taiwan in the South Seas, then Israel's in trouble. I said when Donald Trump was running against that crazy family down there, Clinton family, I thought, boy, if she wins, the return of Jesus Christ is imminent. I thought if Donald Trump wins, he's going to stave off the return of the Lord, because he would hold a bulwark against China and against Soviet Russia, who are the main protagonists. I guess that might be the right word. I'm not sure. Against Israel. So, children, you want to look at a leader. Look at Joe Biden. He might not even know what is even going on. Look at Justin Trudeau. Oh, he's hell on wheels. I mean, emergencies, act, all that stuff, seizing bank accounts and truckers' source of income, all that stuff. Oh, impressive. The world is going to hell in a handbasket. I really like saying that. I like that expression. I don't think we're going to like the result of what we're seeing right now. The Ukrainian people, any of you Canadians out there who choose to believe in a creator as I do, who aren't religious, as I'm sure not religious, but the creator and his son, pray for Ukrainian people. Pray for the Canadian people. Our leader is just as delusional as Putin. And the Chinese Communist Party, well, shoot, we just sold them a lithium mine in here in Canada. Well, why not? Jeez, people, wake up. But in the interim, because by the time we do wake up, it may well be too late anyways, cannot resist what the creator of this whole universe is going to do. But behaviorally, we could curtail how quickly that happens. I think we've seen enough to understand that the most important thing that we can do as Canadians is pray and make sure that your heart and my heart are ready to meet the Lord, ready to encompass something that is greater than we are. In the interim, you will find in news, in politics, that while one thing is taking place that is pulling the attention of all the world in terms of news, as Justin Trudeau did, that poor idiot. I mean, people around the world, they really despise that man for picking on Canadian protesters. And around the world, they despise Putin, except he has about 40% of the energy in Europe that there is in Soviet Russia. And it is really funny, the Ukrainian people are sitting on a natural gas supply that is apparently astounding. And Putin wants it. He wants the old Soviet Russia put back in place. So listen, you all have a good night. Don't worry. You can't do anything about it anyways. But watch and see. How close are we coming to the return of the Lord? Well, a lot closer than we were last week. God bless you. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Okay? We get rid of the stupid mandates here in Canada and you can get out and enjoy nature a little bit. Trust me, you don't need a mask when you're standing by yourself on the top of a mountain. Jeez. Okay, God bless. Pray, children. It's about the only thing you have left you can do, okay? Well, we could vote Trudeau out of office if there were any members of Parliament down there and the NDPs and the backbenchers in the Liberal government. Well, we might have been able to do that, but, well, it didn't work out, did it? God bless.